Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another Temple 420 Bible study. Just let me turn down our music here. Thank you for all coming here today to hear some more out of God's holy word. And I will start it off here. Dear Almighty Yahweh, thank you for the blessings you give us. Thank you for taking care of us and bringing us all here today to hear your word and study your word. May people be blessed and hear this and be encouraged by the things that you do for them and the things that you give them in wisdom. Amen. Let me see here. Get this back. Last time we did Proverbs 8 through 14. So now it's time for Proverbs 15 through 21. That's so good. Yeah, looks like it. Proverbs 15:1. A gentle response deflects flurry, but a harsh word makes tempers rise. The tongue of the wise presents knowledge well, but the mouth of a fool spews out folly. And the eyes of Adonai are everywhere, watching evil and the good. Soothing the tongue is a tree of life, but when it twists things, it breaks the spirit. A fool despises his father's discipline, but he who heeds warnings is prudent. The home is the righteous. The righteous is a storehouse of treasure, but the earnings of the wicked bring trouble. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the heart of fools. Adonai detests the sacrifices of the wicked, but delights in the prayers of the upright. Adonai detests the ways of the wicked, but loves anyone who pursues righteousness. Discipline is severe for the one who leaves the way. Whoever can't stand correction will die. Sheol and Abaddon will open to Adonai. So how much more people's hearts? A scorner does not like being corrected, and he won't go to the wise for advice. A glad heart makes a face happy, but heartache breaks the spirit. A mind of a person with discernment seeks knowledge, but the mouth of a fool feeds on folly. For the poor, every day is hard, but the good-hearted have a perpetual feast. Better little with fear of Adonai than great wealth coupled with worry. Better a vegetable dinner with love than a stall-fatted ox with hate. Hot-tempered people stir up strife, but patient people quiet quarrels. The lazy person seems way overgrown by thorns, but the path of the upright is a level highway. A wise son is a joy to his father, and only a fool despises his mother. Folly appeals to one who lacks sense, but a person of discernment goes straight ahead. Without deliberation, plans go wrong, but with many advisors, they succeed. People take pleasure in anything they say, but a word at the right time, how good it is. For prudent, the path of life goes upwards. This Sheol, he avoids Sheol below. Adonai will put down the houses of the proud, but preserves the widow's boundaries. Adonai detests the plans to do evil, but kind words are pure. The greedy for gain brings trouble to his home, but he who hates bribes will live. The mind of the righteous thinks before speaking, but the mouth of the wicked spews out evil stuff. Adonai is far from the wicked, but he listens to the prayer of the righteous. A cheerful glance brings joy to the heart, and good news invigorates the bones. He who heeds life correction will be at home in the company of the wise. He who spurns discipline detests himself, but he who listens to correction grows in understanding. The discipline of wisdom is the fear of Adonai. So being honored, a person must be humble. Proverbs 16. A person is responsible to prepare his heart, but how his tongue speaks is from Adonai. All man's ways are pure in his own view, but Adonai weighs his spirit. If you entrust all you do to Adonai, your plans will achieve success. Adonai made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for its day of disaster. Adonai detests all those with proud hearts. Be assured that they will not go unpunished. Grace and truth alone for iniquity, and the people will turn from evil through the fear of Adonai. When a man's ways please Adonai, he makes even a man's enemies be at peace with him. Better little with righteous than a huge income with injustice. A person may plan his path, but Adonai directs his steps. Divine inspiration is on the lips of the king, so his mouth will be faithful when he judges. The balance of the scales of justice have their origin in Adonai, and all the weights of the bag his doing. It is an abomination for a king to do evil, for the throne is made secure by the righteous. The king should delight in righteous lips, and he should love someone who speaks what is right. A king's anger is held of death, and no one who is wise will appease it. The king's anger is a herald of death, and no one who is wise will appease it. When the king's face brightens, it means life. His favor is like the clouds that bring spring rain. How much better than gold is it to gain wisdom? Yes, rather than money, choose to gain understanding. That does not skip well. Avoiding evil is the highway of the upright. He who watches his steps preserves his life. Pride goes before destruction, and arrogance before failure. Better to be humble among the poor that share the spoil of the proud. He who has skill in matter will succeed. He who trusts in Adonai will be happy. Wise-hearted person is said to have discernment, and the sweetness of speech adds to learning. Common sense is a fountain of life to one who has it, whereas fools are punished by their own folly. A wise man his heart teaches his mouth, and his lips it adds learning. Pleasant words are like honeycomb, sweet to the taste and healing to the body. There can be a way which seems right to a person, but in its end are all ways of death. A working man's appetite acts upon his behalf, because his hunger presses him on. A worthless man digs up evil, gossip, and is like a scorching fire on his lips. A deceitful person stirs up strife, and a slanderer can separate even close friends. A violent man lures his neighbors astray and leads them into evil ways. One who winks knowingly is planning deceit. One who pinches his lips together has already done wrong. A white crown of his honor is obtained by righteous living. He who controls his temper is better than a war hero. He who rules his spirit is better than one who captures a city. He who casts lots into one's lap. One can cast lots into one's lap, but the decision comes to Adonai. Better a dry piece of bread with calm than a house full of food, but also full of strife. An intelligent slave will rule a shameful son and share inheritance with brothers. The crucible tests silver, and the furnace tests gold. But the one who tests hearts is Adonai. An evildoer heeds wicked lips, and a liar listens to destructive talk. He who mocks the poor insults his maker. He who rejoices at calamity will not go unpunished. Grandchildren are the crown of the age, while the glory of the children is their ancestors. Fine speech is becoming a bore, and even less lying lips to a leader. A bribe works like a charm in the view of him who gives it. Whenever it turns, it succeeds. But he who conceals an offense promotes love. But he who harps on it can separate even close friends. A rebuke makes even more of an impression on a person understanding than 100 blows on a fool. An evil person seeks only rebellion, but a cruel messenger will be sent against him. Rather meet a bear robbed of its cubs than encounter a fool in his folly. Evil will not depart from the house of him who returns evil for good. Starting a fight is like letting water through a dike. Better stop a quarrel before it gets worse. He who justifies the wicked, he who condemns the righteous, are both alike an abomination to Adonai. Why would a fool wish to pay for wisdom when he has no desire to learn? A friend shows his friendship at all times. It is for an adversary that such a brother is born. He who gives his hand to a guaranteed loan for his neighbor lacks good sense. Those who love quarreling love giving offense, and those who make their gates tall are courting disaster. A crooked-hearted person will find nothing good, and the perverse of speech will end in calamity. He who fathers a fool does so to his sorrow, and the father to a boor has no joy. A happy heart is good medicine, but low spirits sap one's strength. From a cloak, a bad man takes a bribe to pervert the court of justice. The discerning person focuses on wisdom there before him, but a fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. A son who a fool means anger for his father and bitterness for the mother who gave him birth. To punish the innocent is not right. Likewise, to flog noble people for their uprightness. Knowledgeable person controls his tongue. A discerning person controls his temper. Even a fool, if he stays silent, is thought to be wise. He who keeps his mouth shut can pass for smart. He who separates himself indulges his desires and shows contempt for any sound advice of any kind. This is Proverbs 18. Forgot to announce that here. There. A fool takes no pleasure in trying to understand. He only wants to express his own opinion. When a wicked person comes, contempt comes too. And with disdain, provocation, the words of a man's mouth are deep water, a gushing torrent, a fountain of wisdom. It's not good to be partial to the guilty and thus deprive the innocent of justice. A fool's words do get him into fights. Yes, his mouth calls him out a beating. A fool's mouth is his ruin. His words are a trap for him. A slanderer's words are tasty morsels. They slide right down into the belly. Whoever is lazy doing his work is a brother to the destroyer. In the name of Adonai is a strong tower. A righteous person runs to it and is raised high above danger. The wealth of the rich is his fortified city, like a high wall in his own imagination. Before being ruined, a person's heart is proud, Being honored, a person must be humble. To answer someone before hearing him out is both stupid and embarrassing. A person's spirit can sustain him when ill, but a crushed spirit, who can bear it? The mind of a person with discernment gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A person's gift clears his way and gives him access to the great. The first person to state his case seems right, till the other one comes and cross-examines it. Casting lots puts an end to strife and separates powerful disputants. It is harder to win an offended brother than a strong city. Their fights are like the fights of the bars of a fortress. A person's belly will be filled with the fruit of his mouth, and with his lips produce will be filled. And with what his lips produce, he will be filled. The tongue has power over life and death. Those who indulge in it must eat of its fruit. He who finds a wife finds a great good. He has won the favor of Adonai. The poor man speaks beseechingly. The rich man's answer is blunt. Some friends prefer to be friends, but true friends stick closer than a brother. But Proverbs 19. Better to be poor and live one's life uprightly than engage in crooked speech. For such one is a fool. To act without knowing how you function is not good. If you rush ahead, you will miss your goal. A person's own folly is what ruins his way, but he wages his heart against Adonai. Wealth brings in many friends, but the poor man loses the one his friends has. A false witness will not go unpunished. Whoever breathes out lies will not escape. Many ask favors of a generous person. To a giver of gifts, everyone is a friend. A poor man's relatives all hate him. Even his friends stay away from him, and he may pursue them with entreaties, but they aren't to be found. To acquire good sense is the love of oneself. To treasure discernment is to prosper. A false witness will not go unpunished. Whoever breathes out lies will perish. It isn't fitting for a fool to live in luxury. It is even less for a slave to govern princes. People with a good sense are slow to anger, and their glory is to overlook offense. A king's wrath is like that of a roaring lion, but his favor is like that of dew on a grass. A son is a fool on his father's ruin, and a nagging wife is like a leak that keeps dripping. A house and wealth are inherited from ancestors, but a sensible wife from Adonai. Laziness makes people fall asleep, and an idle person will go hungry. He who keeps mitzvah keeps himself safe, but he who doesn't care how he lives will die. He who is kind to the poor is lending to Adonai, and he will pay himself for his good deed. Discipline your child while there is hope, but do not get so angry that you kill him. A violent-tempered person will be punished. If you try to save him from it, you will make things worse. Listen to advice and accept discipline, so that in the end you'll be wise. One can devise many plans in one's mind, but Adonai's plan will prevail. A man's lust is his shame, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of Adonai leads to life, and one who is satisfied and rests untouched by evil. A lazy person buries his hand in the dish, but doesn't even bother to bring it to his mouth. If you strike a scorner, the simple will not learn to act wisely. If you reprove the intelligent, he will learn to understand what you mean. One who mistreats his father and evicts his mother is a son who brings them shame and disgrace. My son, if you stop heeding discipline, you will stray from the principles of knowledge. A worthless witness mocks at justice, and the mouth of the wicked swallows wrongdoing. Judgments are in store for scorners, and blows for the backs of fools. Oops. Just got done 19, 20. Wine is a mocker, strong wicker, a rowdy. Anyone led astray by it is unwise. The dread of a king is like when a lion roars. He who makes him angry commits life-threatening sin. Avoiding quarrels brings a person honor. For any fool can explode in anger. A lazy person won't plow in winter, so at harvest time when he looks, there is nothing. A heart's real intention are like deep water, but a person with discernment draws them close. Most people announce that they show kindness, but who can find someone faithful enough to do it? The righteous live life of integrity. Happy are the children after them. The king seated on his judgment throne can window out all evil in his glance. Who can say, I have made a clean heart? I am cleansed of sin. False weights and false measures. Adonai detests them both. A character of even a child is known by how he acts and by whether his deeds are pure or right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, Adonai made them both. If you love sleep, you'll become poor. Keep your eyes open and you'll have plenty of food. Really bad stuff, says the buyer to the seller. And then he goes off and brags about his bargain. A person may have golden wealth of pearls, but lips informed by knowledge are a precious jewel. Seize his clothes because he's guaranteed a stranger's loan. Take them as security for that unknown woman. Food obtained by fraud may taste good, but later the mouth is full of gravel. After consultation, plans succeed. So take wise advice when waging war. Gossip goes around revealing secrets, so don't get involved with a talkative person. Whoever curses his mother or father, his lamp will go out in total darkness. Possessions acquired quickly at first will not be blessed until the end. Don't say, I will pay back evil for evil. Wait for Adonai to save you. Adonai detests a double standard in weights, and false scales are not good. A man's steps are ordered by Adonai. So how can a person understand his own ways? It is a snare to dedicate a gift to God rashly and reflect on the vows only afterwards. A wise king winnows from the wicked, from the righteous, and threshes them under a cartwheel. The human spirit is a lamp of Adonai, and it searches one's inmost being. Grace and truth preserve a king, and with his grace he upholds the throne. The pride of the young is their strength, and the dignity of the old is gray hair. Blows that wound purge evil away. Yes, beatings cleanse one's inmost being. The king's heart and Adonai's hand is like streams of water. He directs it wherever he pleases. All the person's ways are right in his own view, but Adonai weighs the heart to what is right and what is just moving to please Adonai than sacrifice. To do what is right and just is more pleasing to Adonai than sacrifice. Haughty looks and a proud heart, what the wicked plow is sin. The plans of the diligent lead only to abundance, but all who rush and arrive only at want. Fortune gained by a lying tongue is vapor dispersed by seekers of death. The violence of the wicked will sweep them away because they refuse to act justly. A criminal conduct is crooked, but the work of pure is right. It is better to live on the corner of a roof than share a house with a nagging wife. The wicked is set on evil. He doesn't even pity his neighbor. When a scorner is punished, the simple become wiser. And when the wise is instructed, he takes a hold of knowledge. The righteous one observes the house of the wicked. He overthrows the wicked to their ruin. Whoever stops and hears at the cry of the poor will himself cry, but not be answered. A secret gift allies anger, and a bribe under the cloak of the strongest fury. Acting justly is a joy for the righteous, but terrifies evildoers. The person who strays from the way of common sense will come in the rest of the company of the dead. Pleasure lovers will suffer want. He who loves wine and oil won't get rich. The wicked serve as a ransom for the righteous, and likewise the perverse for the upright. Perfidious. It is better to live in the desert than with a nagging, irritable wife. In the home of the wise are fine treasures and oil, but a fool quickly devours it. He who pursues righteousness and kindness finds life, prosperity, and honor. A wise man can go up in the city of warriors and undermine the strength of which it trusts. Whoever guards his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble. Scoffer is what you call a proud, insolent person who acts with overweening conceit. A lazy man's craving will kill him because his hands refuse to work. He covets greedy all day long, but the righteous person gives without holding back. To sacrifice the wicked is an abomination, but how much more when he brings it with vile motives? A lying witness is doomed, but one who heard what is said will testify successfully. A wicked man puts on a bold face, whereas an upright prepares his ways. No wisdom, discernment, or counsel succeeds against a deny. A horse may be prepared for the day of battle, but victory comes from a deny. And that's 21. So next time we'll go through the next 7 here, 21 through 28, or 22 through 28. Dear Almighty God, thank you for bringing these things of wisdom to these people. May they be inspired. May we all hold them in our hearts and seek after the wisdom that you gave Solomon and that you give us to find and seek and use. May we seek after your heart and do the things that you would like us to do. Amen. Thank you all for attending and staying through this here. I will put through our information down below and on the website. You can always go to temple420.org or renownplantation.org. We always got the information there as well. And I hope you guys all do well. God bless.